Hello, everyone, and welcome to another movie review. I am happy that you can join me today. If you are new to this channel, click the subscribe button below for future notifications and updates. Click the like button to share this content with other movie fans. This movie review contains spoilers, so viewer discretion is advised. Over the past weekend, I took a trip to Florida to attend my grandmother's funeral, so I wasn't able to start watching new movies again until yesterday, which was Tuesday. I have been looking forward to seeing Conclave and Venom 3, and I decided to see Conclave first. And it's funny that I am doing this review right before Halloween because last year I was the Pope for Halloween. I had a blast last year pretending to be the Pope. Conclave is a mystery thriller directed by Edward Berger. It stars Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, Sergio Castellitto, and Isabella Rossellini. It premiered at the Telluride Film Festival on August 30th. It was released in theaters last Friday, October 25th, and the running time is 2 hours. So if you are Catholic, you know what a conclave is. However, if you are not Catholic, it's kind of fuzzy because the tradition is wrapped in secrecy. A cardinal is a senior member of the clergy, and in order to get that position, the Pope has to promote you. Once you become a cardinal, you belong to the College of the Cardinals, which consists of cardinals from around the world, and they are known as the princes of the church. When the Pope dies, it is up to the college to vote among themselves and promote one of their own to the papacy. So this movie is totally fiction. The process of the conclave and what goes on is generally accurate, but the characters and the story are all fiction. However, what I saw, besides a fictional story, was also a metaphor. If you take away the religious clothes and put the story in a different environment, this story is really about politics in terms of the basic definition of it. Politics being the study of how people make decisions in a group and how and why people obtain power. But since this story takes place in the highest part of the hierarchy in a worldwide church, and I myself is a Catholic, while I was watching the first vote of the conclave, I was thinking the best person to be Pope is not going to vote for himself. Now, when it comes to Ralph Fiennes, who plays Cardinal Lawrence, I was happy when he voted for Bellini, played by Stanley Tucci. Lawrence doesn't want to be Pope. He wants to resign and join an order and live a simpler life. Cardinal Bellini doesn't want to be Pope either, but he changes his mind when he finds out one of the front runners is the Italian Cardinal Tedesco, because he is a conservative and Bellini feels he will undo all the progressive work the previous Pope did. Another front-runner Bellini does not like is Nigerian Cardinal Adeyemi, because he said to Lawrence, quote, he wants to throw homosexuals in prison, then send them to hell, end quote, which is true. In many African countries, homosexuality is illegal. So, in the beginning, any liberal moviegoer is going to cheer for Bellini because he supports pro-LGBT rights and modern women's rights. And then there is Cardinal Benitez from Mexico. Before the Pope died, he promoted him in secret, and no one knows why. So when he shows up, the rest of the college doesn't know what to make of the previous Pope's decision. All we know is he is from Mexico, and he leads the archdiocese in Kabul. We don't even know how he ended up in Kabul, Afghanistan, and some of the other cardinals are wondering how many Christians are in Afghanistan anyway. But over the course of the film, Benitez is a quiet character that I liked more and more and as the film went on. So he ends up being Pope, and right after he got the majority of the vote, we find out that Benitez is intersex. So I left the movie theater thinking God does have a sense of humor. And the previous Pope seemed to also have a sense of humor. So I am going to give this film 4.5 out of 5 stars. The movie is very engaging, but that last twist in the end kind of snapped me back into reality, where I was reminded that I am watching a fictional movie and I really can't take this too seriously. But in terms of story, plot, great dialogue, excellent characterization, for me, this is the best movie I have watched since Dune 2. And I saw that movie on March 1st. That was 8 months ago, folks. The twist at the end to this film is getting criticized, but as a Catholic, I was not offended and I was not upset. Keep in mind, folks, when we recite the Lord's Prayer, you know, we do have to pray, forgive us for our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So, it is what it is. There is a scene where Lawrence tells Bellini that the previous pope was spying on all the cardinals. So when I left the theater, I realized that the previous pope promoted Benitez because he was honest and transparent. And Benitez thought he would participate in the conclave, vote for Lawrence in every round, and go back to Kabul. But before the bombing, all you hear are stories of cardinals getting themselves into scandals and being naughty, naughty big boys. But after the bombing, there is a shift within the college, and Benitez makes a short but powerful speech, and he reminds the college that it must do what is right. Cardinal Tedesco wants to wage a war against Islam. However, Benitez tells him he has no idea what war is like. And what is interesting to me is you would think that being intersex would make Benitez extremely liberal, like Bellini, but he is more of a moderate, which I think is the reason why he ended up getting enough votes to be Pope. This is such a great film, and I have to say this. This is a serious contender for Best Picture Oscar. In general, this year has been filled with mediocre films that if I was the Academy, I would consider animated features and doc features in the Best Picture category. Otherwise, the Academy will have to go back to 5 Best Picture nominees. At this point, with 2 months left of the 2024 year, we don't have enough films that qualify for Best Picture. As I mentioned, Conclave is the best I've seen since Dune 2, but I did mention that I did not like that in the end, Paul Atreides chose royal blood over the warrior woman he loves. I was happier with Conclave's ending because Benitez wasn't there to gain more power and he was guided by his morality. In addition to that, for the most part, he remained quiet throughout the entire process. When he explains why he votes for Lawrence, and he probably voted for Lawrence in the last round of votes, you understand why the Pope did not accept Lawrence's resignation either. His moral compass does not waver, and it's important to the Church that men of integrity outnumber men of questionable character. I do like the fact that there are opposing ideologies within the college, and the cardinals don't see eye to eye as to what the future of the church should be. This film does a great job at bringing up different facets of religion and faith and starting a meaningful conversation. I can talk about Lawrence's doubts, Bellini's views, Tedesco's views, Adeyemi's sex scandal, and I can also talk about Cardinal Tremblay's scheming for more power. The biggest issue I have is Sister Agnes, played by Rossellini. She is an interesting character, and I would have loved to see more of her. I thought Rosalina deserved more lines in the movie because she is the only actress with lines in the film. And let me talk a little bit about the direction and the editing of this film. There is a scene where Lawrence introduces Benitez at one of the cardinal dinners, and Lawrence asks Benitez to pray over the meal. And he mentions in the prayer for God to watch over the nuns, and he is grateful to them for preparing the meals. And there is a reaction shot where Sister Agnes smiles in appreciation. So to me, it implies that not every cardinal that blesses the meals include the nuns in their prayers. This movie is so good on numerous levels, but I will stop here. Let me know what you thought of the film in the comment box below. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you next time with another movie review. Until then, have fun at the movies.